What's up everybody, BigSweetC here with you. Got a special little video for you today. Like I had mentioned previously, I have another little Netflix update for you. If you haven't heard yet, Netflix is currently working with Square Enix to create not one but two Square Enix properties into animes for the streaming service. One is Final Fantasy VII Remake, one is Kingdom Hearts. I did have a previous video on that, so I'll let you go check that out if you want to hear anything about that. Today, what we want to talk about is not just is Netflix getting into creating series based off of video games, they're also looking to get into video games themselves. Now, the way that this article sounds, and I believe it's Polygon is what we're on here right now, by the lovely Nicole Carpenter. I'm sure she's fantastic. I'm sure she's fantastic. But the report, word on the street here says, looks like they're trying to get into developing their own games as well. So we'll just jump right into the article. Report, Netflix really wants to get into video games. The report suggests Netflix is considering a bundle of games. Now, what they meant by that at first, I wasn't really sure. But as we go along here, Netflix is reportedly searching for an executive to head up an expansion into video games, according to a report published Friday by The Information. The report suggests Netflix has approached multiple veteran game industry executives regarding the position, which would expand its efforts in video games. The Information reported that Netflix is considering a bundle of games available via a subscription like Apple Arcade. The Apple Bundle launched in 2019 with a number of exclusive and timed exclusive games. Available for $4.99 a month, Apple has continued to support the platform by adding new games at a pretty consistent pace. Now, truth is, I've never even heard of Apple Arcade. Like, I feel like this was something that maybe I heard in passing a couple of years ago. It's been around forever, allegedly since 2019. So it's been around a lot longer than I thought it would. They pay $4.99 and you have access to these exclusive games. Now, again, I don't really know anything about it, but I think it's a streaming service a la like Google Stadia. And this, in my opinion, brings up the first most important question, which we'll get to in a second. But let's finish up here what it says about Netflix's spokesperson. Netflix spokesperson told Polygon the company is excited to do more with interactive entertainment. The full statement is below. Our members value the variety and quality of our content. It's why we've continually expanded our offering from series to documentaries, film, local language originals, and reality TV. Members also enjoy engaging more directly with stories they love through interactive shows like Bandersnatch and UV Wild, or games based on Stranger Things, La Casa de Papel, and To All the Boys. So we're excited to do more with interactive entertainment. The streaming platform has experimented with interactive video experiences and video games in the past. 2018, it published Black Mirror Bandersnatch, a choose-your-own-adventure style movie, followed by a similarly interactive experience in 2020 for an Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt episode. That's on top of its experience producing series based off video game properties like Dota, Castlevania, The Witcher and its spin-offs, as well as upcoming shows based on Magic the Gathering, Sonic the Hedgehog, and League of Legends. Now again, no idea any of this stuff was even in the works. So apparently Netflix is going hard in the paint to get into the video games here, franchises, genre, industry, whatever you want to call it. Which would make sense because, I mean, what have we seen more than anything in this pandemic is just about everybody and their mom loves playing video games. So it makes sense that they would want to get into such a lucrative industry. I do have some qualms with it. The Black Mirror Bandersnatch Choose Your Own Adventure and the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt episode. Never seen Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. I've seen like maybe 2 episodes of Black Mirror, and it was not the Bandersnatch one, so I don't really know what they're talking about. But Castlevania, I thought, was fantastic. The show The Witcher, I think, is fantastic. I'm sure Magic the Gathering, Sonic the Hedgehog, and League of Legends will make fantastic shows as well. So I can only imagine how much fun they're going to have with those. Netflix has also produced games before with third-party developers based off its Stranger Things series, a Stranger Things mobile game, Stranger Things 3, the game. Details regarding Netflix reported gaming expansion still remain minimal, but it's been clear over the past few years that the company is interested in new interactive mediums. Netflix subscriptions have slowed over the past year, partially due to delayed production on its own original shows, and competition in the streaming space continues to grow. However, so-called streaming wars have been ongoing for years as companies prepared for launch new services. Netflix said in 2019 that its biggest competition is actually Fortnite, which is what more likely pulls players away from the streaming service. Fortnite is a video game. Developer Epic Games is also building what it calls the metaverse, a growing virtual world that's more than a video game. Indeed, Fortnite is now a place where people turn to movies. Over the past year, Epic has held multiple movie nights. Players can watch films through a screen in Fortnite, as well as the debut of Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker trailer. So I didn't know anything about that, but we do know that Travis Scott had some sort of concert in Fortnite once. So I do know what they're talking about. They're having these like special events inside this game where you sign into the game to do this special event. In my opinion, it seems like an awful waste of time. But Fortnite is huge, and brain dead sheep decide everything in this country nowadays. I don't particularly get the fascination with Fortnite. Really, any of those kind of battle royale games. I enjoyed PUBG for a little bit. I appreciate Call of Duty because it's Call of Duty. But for the most part, the battle royale games, specifically the cartoonish ones like Fortnite and Apex Legends, not generally my thing. But everybody else that I know plays them, and they love them for whatever reason. So totally makes sense that Epic would want to kind of do the opposite of what Netflix is doing. Whereas Netflix is getting into video games, Epic is trying to get out of video games. You would think maybe they would kind of like team up. But I mean, hey, every corporation wants to butt heads with another corporation, so why not? Competition drives up productivity, gives you more original, good content. At least that's what I've been told. For the past, almost 40 years of my life, it really hasn't been that way, but that's another discussion for another video for another time. Now, I am kind of torn on this. So you all know, if you've ever heard me talk about the Google Stadia, I think it is a horrendous idea to have a streaming service for video games. I don't like this idea of streaming video games because I've tried it with PS Now and it doesn't work all that great. Like, the game lags all the time. It looks really funny if you don't have like perfect connection. And internet is still like the one thing around this country that not everybody really has access to and should. Like, everybody should have access to adequate education, healthcare, and all this stuff and everything. Yes, too. Yeah, that's absolutely true. But like the utility that everybody uses and could use that we don't have is basically internet, especially high-speed internet. In some cases, you can't even get high-speed internet. Take my brother, for example. My brother, when he and I lived together here, we had the gigabyte. I still have the gigabyte from Xfinity, but where he lives, he can only get Frontier DSL, and they only offer up to like 20 or 25 megabytes a second. Now, that is definitely not enough to play a game like the one that I tried was Fallout 3. Now, maybe I tried playing the wrong game. Maybe it should be something more like a mobile game, but it was available, so I'm going to try it. And it was not a very good experience. It was rough on the eyes, it was laggy as all get up, and it just wasn't a very good experience. Now, I know on a lot of the games, or a lot of the movies that they have, you can actually download them and watch them in offline mode, is what they call. If you are able to download these games onto your system and then play them, I would probably be more open to that. But then again, that begs in another question. Are you going to have to buy another Netflix device? Are we no longer going to, have Netflix on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series? Are we going to have to get the Netflix PlayStation Xbox? Is there going to be a streaming service? Like Google Stadia, you had to buy the Google Stadia, right? And so, one, it begs in the question, who's really going to invest in another console, especially when the two major consoles already have like such a lockdown on the market share, and then the third major competitor has such a devout following from year to year. It's hard to imagine anybody, even like Google, is experiencing this. Google's probably the biggest company in the world, and they're having these issues where they're just not able to get people to buy into their stuff. So much so to the fact that I don't think they're even continuing Google Stadia anymore. Now, I've heard conflicting reports on that, but again, another story for another time. But there's, that brings in a whole other kit and caboodle, because if I can't just stream them on my Xbox or my PlayStation, I'm probably not going to buy, I'm probably not going to buy another console. Like, I'm just being honest with you. So there's that. And then, I mean, anybody who's been a Netflix subscriber for a little while has been raised their money on. So when I first started with Netflix, it was like $8, $7 or $8 a month. Now I think I pay like $15 or $16. They keep raising the price because, well, now we can get you 1080p instead of 720. Now we can download this much instead of send you DVDs. Now we can get you 4K instead of this. And so they always had some sort of excuse to make it more expensive. Now, are they just going to make this more expensive? Like, I mean, I'm okay with paying about $15, $16 a month for Netflix, but what if they put it up to like 30? I don't think there's enough on Netflix for me to want to pay $30. They're going to have some bomb-ass games, and they're going to have to be available pretty much day one if they're going to expect me to pay like another $10, $15 a month. In the case of Apple, I guess it's $5, but I believe what it was mentioning is it's mostly mobile games. Now, if they want to have mobile games, that's fine. I don't like mobile games. They try and charge me for mobile games that I'm not going to play. I'm going to be upset by it. Are they going to charge everybody? Is it just going to go inherently into say I get the 4K package now, am I going to have to go into the 4K with some video games? And then they'll have the 4K with unlimited games. Like, there's a whole bunch of like other kind of random stuff that doesn't seem to be really thought of in this article, and now maybe they haven't thought about it yet. They need to know what kind of investment it would be before they plan out their attack. But my guess is Netflix probably seems logical enough to have kind of planned this out, to say, hey, if we hire this guy in at this rate, then we're going to have to raise our rates on everything this much. I would have to imagine that they've thought about that already, and they're probably being as quiet as they can because they don't want to scare anybody away. But I don't know if this is necessarily a good thing. On the one side, I see their movies, and considering a bunch of them are absolute trash, I do commend them that they put so much out there. Like, I mean, and you get it from everywhere too. You get German movies, you get Russian movies, Japanese movies. We find Nepali movies for my wife and I. Not Nepali, Bollywood, India wood, or whatever type movies are on there. So there's a general collection of a lot of stuff from a bunch of varying different backgrounds. But then again, who or what gets made? Like, is this going to be kind of like the woke part of of Netflix? Are they not going to make the GTAs, and they're only going to make the, for lack of a better term, like the Life is Strange types? Are they only going to be alternative stories, all that kind of stuff? So it's there's still a lot of speculation up in the air how this is actually going to work. But You know, I mean, they seem to be going full forward, so I wanted to make sure you guys knew this was going on, but this way you can let me know how you guys feel about it. If this is something that I'm just kind of a boomer on, let me know. But I don't see streaming video games specifically being the next big thing, with internet issues especially. But just the way that, you know, having played those streamed games on PlayStation Now, it just doesn't seem viable to me. It's still, in my opinion, just much better to just buy a console and play the games on that console. If I'm gonna have to buy another console to run the Netflix games, I'm probably not gonna get into it. So I'm just being real. But let me know what you guys think. If you think this is a good idea, if you like the idea of Netflix going into it, hit those comment section below. Let me know what you're excited about. If you're kind of on the fence about it, if you don't think you know, this is a good idea, or if you're kind of unsure, hit the comments below. Let me know what you're skeptical about as well. Because if you've learned anything from my channel, it's you should, you know, be skeptical about everything, because truth is, everybody's out there to get you. They're not really out there to make your life better. They're out there to somehow get your money from you to them. So always go into everything with a skeptical eye, and let me know what your reasoning behind that is. Either way, do me that favor, hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell. That way you know when I do go live or drop a new video. Head on over to Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter. You can follow me over there as well, at BigSweetC. Either way, that's going to do it for this one, BigSweetC. That's me, wishing YouTube that's you. Wonderful day, night, morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time of day it might be. As long as you're watching, I'm wishing you a wonderful watching time. Sweetness. Signing off. Peace.